What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your main man, Juggernaut, multi-platinum music production team, Arkatech Beatz. Shout out to my partner, Mike Trauma D. Welcome to the Music Review live stream series. If this is the first time here, make sure you like, commenting, and subscribing, sharing the live. Your music release ready. Hey man, we doing live music reviews tonight. If you're not familiar with us, we're responsible for producing for artists like Big Pun, Nas, Prodigy of Mobb Deep, Jadakiss, The Game, Lloyd Banks, Raekwon the Chef, Max B, French Montana, Waka Flocka Flame, Killer Mike, Freddie Gibbs. Make sure you're dropping your music into the link on the screen. We're using Sound Surge, new music discovery platform for independent artists and producers. Let's go. Shout out to everybody jumping into the live. Deuce, what up, bro? Did you get a chance to go live? Shout out Big Chris Music in the building. Shout out to everybody jumping into the live. Make sure we're liking the lives, sharing the live. Shout out to everybody jumping in the live, man. We here tonight, man. We trying to get into some music, trying to listen to some joints. Shout out to everybody that's jumping in. If it's your first time here, welcome to the Music Review live stream series. I am your host, Juggernaut of multi-platinum production team, Arkatech Beatz. Shout out to everybody that's jumping in. Shout out to my folks who are part of my school community, school.com/Future Producer Society. If you haven't already joined that, make sure you're joining that. That's free to join for artists and producers. Of course, what we are trying to do this, we're trying to teach everybody the music business. Make sure that you're trying to learn that music business, man. You know, folks need to understand what's going on with this thing. You follow? So shout out to everybody that's jumping in on the live. Right? And that link is school.com / Future Producer Society. You know what I'm saying? That is basically, for you to jump into that so you can learn the music business and everything in between. So what we're going to be doing tonight is we're going to be listening to a bunch of records. Our queue is totally at 1,900. We're at 1,900 tracks that has been submitted into this queue here. And, we have a few. We're a little bit over 50-something in the other queue for Sound Surge. And for folks who are not part of the Sound Surge situation, make sure you're jumping into that. This is where you are going to be able to submit your new music. If you're an artist that has music that has been released independently, this is the place for you to get some discovery, some good traffic. And I want to make sure that folks are paying close attention to this platform because it will be driving traffic to folks' stuff. This will be the new music discovery platform for new artists and producers. So if you're a producer also too, if you've released your music instrumentals, this is also a place where you can share those things as well. Use these things to network. Also use this site as the way to actually gift and support independent artists. I think it's going to be the next big thing. Shout out to everybody jumping into the live. So what we got going on tonight, we're going to listen to a few joints. You know what I'm saying? If you're not already in, make sure that you're jumping in. We're going to start listening to some music. If you haven't already submitted your music, make sure you submit it into the link that's on the screen. And let's get into this stuff. This first one is called I See You by that Desi Daychild. We're going to take a listen to this, see what this sound like. This is Spotify link.
I see you. Yeah, I see you. I see you. Yeah, I see you. I do. Still, you move like you ain't guilty, like this pain ain't coming from you. And every little cold word cuts a little deeper. Baby, you keep breaking me in 10 pieces. Don't play blind, don't play dumb. You feel it every time I come undone. Yeah, you got me splitting at the seams. 10 pieces falling in between. I see you. I know you do. Why you keep acting like you ain't breaking me into piece by piece now? What you putting me through? I see you. I know you do. You see the cracks, but you don't care.
Shout out to everybody jumping into the live. Yeah, we're listening to everything, Bass Matter. We're listening to UK, everything. We're listening to a lot of stuff. I have some guys in the UK that shoot some stuff over every now and again. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. This is a cool tune by Desi Daychild. What I'm listening to, really, it does sound like it's AI artist, of course, and we haven't actually had a. Do it have to be a certain genre? No, we're listening to everything. Because what I'm doing here is I'm really trying to help folks with their songs. Trying to give them feedback in terms of, listen, if your mixes are pretty good, what's happening with your mixes, what's happening with your song structure. We share things like song structure. We share things about the business. We're trying to give really, really, really constructive criticism as it relates to kind of getting their music really up to commercial viability, making sure the things that you can do before you put it out. And then when you do put it out, what can we do to improve it to make it sound better in the marketplace for you to kind of stand out and compete? So it's really not a genre thing. It's really more of us listening for song structure, listening for arrangement, listening for production, listening for mixes, listening for cadences, tones, pitch, the technical aspects of music. Those are the things that we're really listening for to kind of determine, what's really working and what's really not working, right? So it's not really a genre specific thing, right? So, we're going to make it work the way it works. But with this particular track that I'm listening to now, like I said, it sounds like an AI generated joint. It's pretty decent in terms of the way that it's moving. Has this different sorts of instrumentation. I mean, for me, I probably would like to hear the hook a little bit in the beginning of the record, so make it start off with the hook. I think it'll be a little bit better in terms of replay value. But for the most part, from what I'm hearing thus far, everything seems technically sound. Let me just see how the second verse goes.
There, say you don't know what you do, but I'm in pieces because of you. Try to hold it together, but it's slipping through my hands. Every time I get close to hold, you tear me down again. Don't play blind, don't play dumb. You feel it every time I come undone. You got me splitting at the seams, 10 pieces falling in between. All the happy times we shared, tell me where did they go? Who is this person in your eyes? I don't even know you no more. I see you, I know you do. Why you keep acting like you ain't breaking me into pieces?
Thus far, it's arranged decently. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Desi Daychild for making sure that they're making the arrangement on the record work. There's a lot of folks that's using AI generated outputs, and they're not making sure that the records are really, in proper song structure. And this one is kind of in a good song structure, I believe, in terms of where the verses and the hooks and where everything is building up the way it's set up. So I think in this particular case it's working pretty good. I just think if you're into what you're into, music wise, if it works for you, then that's one of those things. Hold on one second. Chris, I gotta holler at you on the back end. As far as the arrangement for that though, brother, I don't know if it matters. I think maybe we should just arrange it in the order in which it appears in the film. You know what I mean? So however these things are kind of lined up, how they appear in the movie, just put them in the playlist in that order. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think you should have a specific order per se. It's a playlist. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Like, people are gonna get to the songs that they want to get to, but at the same time, I think that might be better suited to just kind of put the joints in the order that they're actually being listened to in the actual film itself. Shout out to Big Chris Music, man. He helped me on we worked together on this Strength of Love movie, as as the musical folks on that record, on that movie rather. Y'all can check that out on Tubi. Make sure y'all checking that out. Strength of Love, featuring my homie Sean Anthony Baker and Mila Williams from 702 fame, if you guys know who that is. Shout out to Bass Brothers on that joint, Bass Brothers Productions. We're going to jump into this next joint. It's called The Rest of My Life by, Bank Boy Blitz.
I'm sunk in the sea, just counting money. And I'ma get to it for the rest of my life. And I'ma get to it for the rest of my life. I'm sunk in the sea, just counting money. And I'ma get to it for the rest of my life. And I'ma get to it for the rest of my life. I'm sunk in the sea.
Born fly, they supposed to hate. Top dollar for this feature, won't negotiate. Grams bubble in the pot, watch them percolate. Then hit the block, let them fly, I call that featherweight. Bad bitch on my dick, beg for a dinner date. When all she wants to pull my dreads while I penetrate. $1 million schemes, why I been up late. Fueled by them days I had no food on my plate. But nowadays it ain't snitching, the feds listening. But never slipping, step ahead when they start blitzing. A bigger vision, not involving prison or thought bitches. Just a few niggas with pride and a lot of ambition. Loyalty is everything, that's why the circle tight. We move precise to keep my enemies in eyesight. As I get older, realize age don't make a man. Only responsibility and providing
I'm
for the
sunk in the
fam.
sea, just counting money. And I'ma get to it for the rest of my life. And I'ma get to it for the rest of my life. I'm sunk in the sea, just counting money. And I'ma get to it for the rest of my life. And I'ma get to it for the rest of my life. I'm sunk in the sea.
I keep on pushing, don't matter what the cost be. I hate paper chasing, don't matter.
Yo, shout out to Bank Boy on this one, man. I feel like the record, the lead vocals has an effects on it that I don't think is really complimentary to what's happening on this record. And then also, I feel like the hook, it's the hook right now, because the hook is having this it's not tuned properly, right? So it's really distractionary. Like if we were to able to probably run the hook through a pitch correction, right? Auto-tune, Melodyne, whatever you want to call it, any type of pitch correction, to get those things to actually be in tune with the actual track itself, it might actually work. You follow? Like if because what has to happen is that we have to find out what the tune and the tone of the record is, the underlying track, and then try to get the chorus to kind of match that in that cadence. If we can do that in pitch, then it might actually begin to work a little bit, because it's kind of like strong enough and obscure enough and different enough, unique enough to kind of work in a weird kind of way. And because it's kind of simple to repeat, it could actually be an effective type of hook, but it just has to be executed better. I don't know if that makes sense to folks. So when I hear that type of stuff, I'm not like, oh, the hook is just totally terrible. I don't necessarily hear that. I hear the components of a hook that's just being executed incorrectly, right? We're not on pitch with the rest of the beat. We're not using pitch correction to make sure that we're layering the chorus and other parts of the record together, and we're not following the cadence of the beat to make it fall where it needs to fall in order for it to actually pop out. And then we're also maybe using the wrong effects. So we put all of those things together. That's like, okay, melodically, is it terrible? No. But is it executed properly? Not as it should be. So this is the kind of feedback that I like to kind of give for guys on these records, versus me just saying, hey man, there's a shitty hook. You need to change the shitty hook. Well, how? Right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like how do we change the shitty hook? So like the main thing is to make sure that we're telling them what to do, right? In terms of like saying how do we get it to get better? The verses to me sound like they're gonna be okay. Let's just make sure that we're sticking to the song format, man. Maybe no more than 12, right? We want to do a verse to tell the story, and maybe a little bit of a mini verse, which are 4 bars, 8 and 4 bars, to shift the story a little bit. You know what I'm saying? To kind of get back to the hook, to transition back to the hook, right? These are the part of the things that we're trying to get folks to kind of understand what we're doing in terms of song structure and other things, just to kind of get people back to writing better songs, right? Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. We're going to jump into this next joint. It's called Naughty. They're saying this is a sketch. And who is this by? Melting in Space. Oh, this record is gone. Shout out to everybody jumping into the live. This joint is called Don't Trust by, Flock Threezy. It's another one gone. Folks be uploading joints and then be pulling them down. It's wild. Shout out to my man, Talented Deuce Nines and Ina Stone. These are records that we were listening to in the previous session. It's BLG, which is Bitch Looks Good. Really dope record, and Vinyl Sofa. I believe that the feedback that we were giving Deuce on and Ina Stone on this Vinyl Sofa was for us to get a little bit more, to get the first half of this record actually corrected. It just had some timing issues. It was doing a different time signature. It was doing like a 3/4 time signature, and it was doing something a little bit different. So I know Deuce had hit me up on the side and told me that he was going to basically get it corrected. So, you know, we'll give him a chance to handle that. Born Ready in the building. What's up? How are you? Thank you for the rose. Did I look at this already? I did. Let me go to the next one. This joint is called Kaz Productions in the building. What's up, brother? Ravid Music. This is one called Move On.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say that's the bad guy.
Ravid Music. किताबों से बनी नहीं स्कूल कॉलेज खत्म सपना देखा एक शायद कर गया उसका कत्ल दिमाग में लड़ता आता नहीं कुछ समझ दोस्ती यारी छूटी पर पड़ता नहीं किसका असर शायद मैं रह गया लाइफ में इनसे थोड़ा पीछे आज भी जी रहा 19-20 के तरीके में दिखाने आए नहीं कोई जिंदगी के सलीके तो चला अकेला बना किसकी तो छवि मैं इन लड़कों से दूर में थोड़ा पेशेंस लेस ले ली गाड़ी अब अपना घर चाहिए मुझे इमीडिएट 100 में से 101 तरीके से कमाते बड़ा सोचा बड़ा पाया बढ़िया रखे इरादे और बाबे फर्क सिर्फ है माइंड ऑफ स्टेट you wanna knock you to throw hate I left that place don't wanna ruin my peace just wanna reach my peak और ऐसी बातें नहीं सिर्फ खड़ी रही शुरू से है साथ में बेग चांदी हाथों में क्योंकि सोना दिया छोड़ उसको साथ रखा पर वो सोना लोहा बना और भर के कर्मा मिला हाथ से जाना जीवन मैंने दोस्त शुक्र रूठा मेरा वो भी बात अलग क्या ही छोड़ किससे माइक पे आके बनते में बनाता नहीं जो मैं जिया दर्शाती मेरी वही कलाकारी सुबह व्हाइट कॉलर वाइब शाम में मांसाहारी बंदा मैं ईगो फ्रेंडली लोगों को नहीं समझ जा रही तो मैंने सोचा चलो मूव ऑन सेट बैक और माइक पे आके बोला मैंने हाँ भाई है तू कौन इन गानों में दिखते हैं काफी सारे लूप होल दिस वन एंड दैट टू आई फिक्स दैट बट नॉट यू देर नहीं लगेगी दूसरा पन्ना भी पलटने में आईज ऑन प्राइस अगर देखो बेहतर नजरिए से बैगी चीज में ऊपर टाइट नसें फट रही हैं गले ज्ञान घोटे सब है भारी वाकया तकदीर है और खून से मांसाहारी जान भर
Yo, shout out to Ravid Music, man. This joint is called Move On, right? And yo, shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. You know, videos pretty clean. Like, listen, like this is the stuff that I talk about for folks, right? For folks who say, hey, you know, can I submit something that's in a different language or whatever? Like, yo, it could be in a different language, but that doesn't stop it from being on beat. It doesn't stop him from basically he's rapping on beat. Like these are the things that are really important that I think people are not paying attention to. So like the language is not really the barrier, right? It's like it still may have the melody, it still may have the cadence, it still may have the timing, right? So it still may have that little bop to it, and you'd be like, okay, I may not understand what he's saying, right? And he does kind of have a little bit of English in it every now and again, kind of blended in, and we may not be able to understand the entire scope of the song, but at least he's able to give us that vibe and is be able to bleed through. And I think this is important, right? I think this is going to be the difference between the people that actually make it and the people that don't make it. And my only real critique here, is the verse might be too long, right? The verse might need to be only 12 bars versus 16, right? So he can get right back into it. And then when he gets to the hook just probably needs to repeat 4 bars and repeat. It looks like he did an 8-bar rap hook, which in my opinion is just too long, and then the hook itself doesn't have enough dynamic in it, right? Meaning it doesn't have enough stacks, doesn't have enough ad-libs, etc. to make it stand out from the rest of the beat. And I think that's going to be one of those things that we kind of have to pay attention to. But you know, for the most part, video clean, homies on beat and everything.
प्राण की पैदा हुआ पहले कदम में पहाड़ी टाप ली दूजे कदम में गिरा नहीं दीजे चौथे में दिखा नहीं.
Can y'all tell me what language this is?
सड़के टेढ़ी मेढ़ी पसंद है काम की तरह और कोई काम में अड़ाए टांग तो कहाँ को गया दोस्त प्यार से बढ़ाए हाथ नहीं छोड़ा और माँ की कसम मैं मस्तू बड़ा पिताजी ने बोला तोहफा मिला तुझे इसे न तू गवा
see he was on pitch right there.
Love it music.
Need the hook. He didn't put the hook again. You see what I'm saying? So basically, he just did one hook. He didn't put the hook back in where he said to move on. I think that would actually have made the record a little bit stronger too, man. You know, so you can get the replay value. You need the hook. Shout out to Nick in the building. Shout out to everybody jumping in. DJ John, what's up, man? Shout out to everybody jumping in. You know what I'm saying? Listen, like I keep telling folks, man. Folks is like, yo, can I submit from this place and that place in different languages? And I'm telling them, listen, if the music is good, it's not gonna matter where it's from. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think this is a universal language, man. So, you know, whether I can understand, you know, every single word that's coming out of his mouth, pause, you know, the cadence and the cadence and everything else is there, you know what I mean? So shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. So much going on right now. I don't know if y'all got a chance to check out that Max B. Jason Lee interview. He said $1 Million Baby 4 next month.
Arkatech Beatz.
With music produced by us, featuring 2 Chainz, featuring Wiz Khalifa, Red Cafe. Don't say I didn't tell you. This is Serious by Vince. Overload and bad mix. Sounds like the lower octave keys are like overloading along with some of that other stuff. Like, so this mix is particularly bad. I would like to hear the instruments breathe a little bit more. You know, like in terms of like the dynamic range to bring it down. Yeah, like there's a core melody here, DJ John, that I think can work. You know what I'm saying? And me really being like a sample-based guy, like me being a sample-based producer, like when I hear those type of melodies, like that are like embedded into the track, I kind of, my ears perk up and I'm listening to that and I'm like, the things that you could really have done with that piano melody and the ways that you could have actually gone with it. Like there's a lot of places that you could have actually taken it. But again, you know, that's just me and the way that I listen to stuff. And sometimes I'm listening to that and I'm like, okay, what could he have done with it to make it stand out a little bit better? I think we could have probably used different drums. And then really tried to figure out how we wanted the track to kind of work in a song mode. I think a lot of time as producers, we just kind of make things kind of go, right? Where we produce a record and then we kind of just take things out randomly. You know, like take this sound out, bring it back in randomly, you know, put this back in, move the, you know, and that doesn't necessarily work if we're trying to really pitch music and pitch songs to people that really want to buy, or try to get songs on people's albums. Like, you know, these things have to be structured like songs. You know, that's just the overarching premise that we're going to continue to preach here on this platform, night in and night out. It's like song structure wins. If you don't have that, you know, if you don't have that at the very least, you know, you're really killing your chances of landing on people's projects, because they're looking for that kind of structure to figure out how they can get their songs to appeal to the masses. You know what I mean? So shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. But that was Serious by Vinx. You know what I'm saying? It's a decent record. You know what I mean? Nothing too crazy. It just needs a little bit of work. By Little Sanjay.
I'm a big dog, crystal, hit him, then I dip off. I'ma make a nigga wanna settle in the get gone, get wrong. 6 song, hit him with a big bomb. I'm just coming in often, I wanna get off. Big dog, crystal, hit him, then I dip off. I'ma make a nigga wanna settle in the get gone, get wrong. 6 song, hit him with a big bomb. I'm just coming in often, I wanna get off. Never had a wave, what the fuck I do with title? Driving out the state, so with rage and show a rival. I could never claim a title, never slain a rival. This the hate that gets you viral. Stay awake and suicidal, but it's here coming some money. It come arrival, so I can drop it, pop it, flop that motherfucking Bible. Hit him with a socket, stick a pistol grip. I fuck this rifle. If I was hella time, I'd be if I fuck the Eiffel. Pull up on a bitch and the mother, let fucking tuck the title. I this nigga can't see your bucket, and I don't fuck the rivals. I discuss the title, tuck a Bible, bucket huddle. Pull up on a bitch and Bible sidle. I'm a big dog, crystal. Hit him, then I dip off. I'ma make a nigga wanna settle in and get gone, get wrong. 6 song, hit him with a big bomb. I'm just coming in out there, I wanna get all big dog, crystal. Hit him, then I dip off. I'ma make a nigga wanna settle in and get gone, get wrong. 6 song, hit him with a big bomb. I'm just coming in out there, I wanna get off.
Yo, shout out to Lil Senju. This is B.I.G. featuring Trey K47. Look, this joint is kind of sweet, short and sweet, man. Like, you know, like a joint that just kind of jumps in, has the hook really right in the beginning, jumps into a verse, jumps into a hook again. Like this is how I would tell folks to really package a record that you're gonna make pretty, you know, that's gonna be short. I don't really have an issue with this because, you know, he's already made the music video how he wanted. He has his aesthetic the way he wants it to be. And he's basically created the record in the fashion that I would recommend, right? Very, very short intro.
I'm a big dog, crystal. Hit him, then I dip off. I'ma make a
hook in the beginning, verse in the middle, hook at the end. Even if it's short, it's under 2 minutes. That's the way you got to do it, you know. And this is the way that I preach to folks. Folks be submitting their records and there be freestyles, and I'm like, there's all one verse, no hook. I'm like, sandwich everything in between a hook so that it can stand out like an individual song. Like this is the main premise to this thing. Like this is the thing that makes sense, right? Like, let's really get it done. He said, did it slow down? Yeah, he did slow it down toward the end. I don't know if he caught that.
I wanna get all big dog, crystal. Hit him, then I get off. I'ma make a nigga wanna settle with a get gone, get wrong. 6 song, hit him with a big bomb. I'm just coming in often, I wanna get off.
Actually a switch up, you know what I mean? So it's like you can kind of take one of those records where, you know, the record has a decent switch up in it. I probably would have implemented that a little bit more inside of the verse, but you know, we got to make it do what it do. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it has its thing. All right, we're going to get into this record. This is called the Paradise Drinks Grape Gatorade featuring Woof Woof by The Fallen Dove. Don't know what it is, but we're going to listen to it. Let's take a look.
Gatorade, 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 Gatorade.
Bro, drinking the Gatorade is great. Can you even taste? Can you even taste?
Yeah, people be trolling, dog, man. Come on now. Folks sending me joints, trolling me, man. Don't troll me, man. I'm not here to be trolled. You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to respect everybody. You know, make sure folks respect me. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. If you're watching my platform, if you've been sitting around with me, you know that I take very, very serious the way that I try to help artists, and I really extend myself very, very far to help artists and producers. So I would prefer not to be trolled, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I prefer not to be trolled. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really that troll type of guy. You know, I'm not really on that type of timing. You know, I try to keep it regular. But, you know, I think people be trying to see if I'm going to really, like, act out. You know what I'm saying, Cass? Folks be trying to see if I'm going to go into that type of vernacular, you know, and I'm trying to let folks realize, like, listen, we're trying to keep it respectful. We're trying to keep it nice over here, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to keep it in a way where folks could actually learn something, you know what I mean? Like, that's what we're trying to do. Shout out to everybody jumping into the live. This is Rose by HMQ.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, counting my bread and I'm counting the cash. I'm working so hard, I'm making the money, I'm making the max. They tell it on me, I'm counting it up, now look at the stats. They won't believe, just wait to the sea, they look at the facts. Your bitch like a snack, you should flush you just running it back. Here I am, my diamonds they clash. Show me your hunger, but I already cracked. This lifestyle, I could only just dream of. Now we running up, we driving the Benz, we driving the Beamer. I got the gift, the part of the habit of street, but that bitch should be wearing my name. I bought it, the sound of the hills, a breaking back too. We in the hotel room, we sleeping rose. I came in the room, didn't know what to do. Now she touching on me, now I know what to say. Said that I'm boo, we sip with the booze. I'm fucking around, I can tell she don't play. Fucking on shooting the shit from the 3, I'm shooting like Curry. I'm fucking on one, bitch, I gotta go, so baby, I'm in a hurry. I'm getting so turned, I'm popping these pills, and now my vision getting blurry. I'm lasting it up, now the bitches in here, they be talking real dirty. Used to be nothing, now we national. Cannot trust you, so sweet thinking about it rational. If you ain't about the bread, then you can pack it up. When all I got diamonds that I'm counting, I'm stacking up. Fucking on shooting that shit from the 3, I'm shooting like Curry. I'm fucking on one, bitch, I gotta go, so baby, I'm in a hurry. I'm getting so turned, I'm popping these pills, and now my vision getting blurry. I'm lasting it up, now the bitches in here, they be talking real dirty. Used to be nothing, now we national. Cannot trust you, so sweet thinking about it rational. If you ain't about the bread, then you can pack it up. When all I got diamonds that I'm counting, I'm stacking up. I got the Gucci, the part of the habit of street, but that bitch should be wearing my name. I bought it, the sound of the hills, the breaking back too. We in the hotel room, we sipping rose. I came in the room, didn't know what to do. Now she touching on me, now I know what to say. Said that I'm boo, we sip with the booze. I'm fucking around, I can tell she don't play.
I pay for the flights, girl. Me and you, baby, we turn up tonight. Just keep it 100, girl. I promise I'll buy you the bottles you like. I'm just sipping while you sitting back and you lose. Another bottle pour up and baby, yeah, I got you loose. She call me back, she pretty petite. She shaking her ass on my face, switching on back. This stick to my belt, I'm ready to show you my flames. I'm finishing last, she don't know I'm fucking these bitches like every day. Her body so tea and her face gotta leave. So baby, I'm sorry I play all these games. I'm waiting for your message, didn't call. I gave you a bouquet with some roses cause it's fall. It's your loss, and it's my win. Says baby, I'm too sauced to let you win. Oh.
Yo, shout out to HMQ, right? This joint got like an ill vibe to it. Like, it got a really, really ill vibes on it, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Coach J in the building, man. Shout out to him, yo. This joint got an ill vibe, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, it's a little oversaturated in terms of effects. But, you know, my largest issue is that there's no real standout hook. Like, and the melody is there for it. So that's frustrating to me, is that the overall melody and vibe is here. It's like, you know what I'm saying? But, and then the other portion of it too as well is that he's kind of, you know, sing rapping on it. And you know, he has the right melody. He has the right tones, right? But it's like, okay, if I'm in the room with him and I'm like, yo, bro, all right, you about to do your joint. It's like, imagine let me paint it for you. Imagine me being in a studio with Big Pun, right? And Pun drops a line where he's gonna be like, they're in the middle of Little Italy, right? Imagine if it's not, imagine if that's not executed on the appropriate timing. It doesn't hit the way that it's supposed to hit. You follow? So this is one of those things with me being in the room with certain types of artists and being in the room with some of the legends, is that whenever these guys are doing certain things, it was always imperative, right, for us to make sure that we were on timing. And I think that this is where this record could have actually shined a little bit better, is because, one, we could have improved the timing on it. We could have improved the timing and the cadence. And then we could have improved the articulation, right? Because some of the stuff here that he's singing is inaudible, right? And I know folks are going to say it's a vibe and, you know, so forth and so on. But we got to be able to have it. We got to be able to have, we got to be able to have it to be more precise.
Oh yeah.
Or if I'm the engineer, right? The engineer may have to cut and shift things around. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not, the engineer should be able to listen to these things and say, okay, this off time and we're going to fix it. That's if we can't get the performance to be laid down accurately.
Oh yeah, counting my bread and I'm counting the cash. I'm working so hard, I'm making the money, I'm making the max. They tell it on me, I'm counting it up, now look at the stats. They won't believe, just wait to the seat, they look at the facts. Yo, bitch, like a snack, you should function, you just running it back. Here I am, my diamonds, they clash. They show me a hunger, but I already cracked. This lifestyle, I could only just dream of. Now we running up, we driving the Benz, we driving the Beamer. I got the gift in the part of the everything.
There's no hook here, man. He left it the dude at the very end with the hook for Rose.
I'm waiting for your message, didn't call. I gave you a bouquet with some roses cause it's fall. It's your loss, and it's my win. Says baby, I'm too sauced to let you win. Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we should have expounded on this.
She know I'm fucking these bitches like every day. Her body's so tea and her face gotta leave. So baby, I'm sorry I play all these games. I'm waiting for your message, didn't call. I gave you a bouquet with some roses cause it's fall. It's your life.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like, we could have really taken this. Like, we needed to define a hook on this thing. We could have made sure that the timing was a little bit better on some of this track. And we needed to make sure that we segmented this record appropriately, where we had the intro. We should have started it off with a very, very strong singing hook. Get that in there, really get that in there good. Get these verses in, build it up, get the hooks back in, and we would have been really good with this. Because the melody and everything is here. This beat is popping.
What it says, that I'm boo, we sip with the booze. I'm fucking around, I can tell she don't play. Fucking on shooting that shit from the 3, I'm shooting like Curry. I'm fucking on one, bitch, I gotta go, so baby, I'm in a hurry. I'm getting so turned, I'm popping these pills, and now my vision getting blurry. I'm lost in it up, now the bitches in here, they be talking real dirty. Used to be nothing, now we national. Cannot trust you, so sweet thinking about it rational. If you ain't about the bread, then you can pack it up. When all I got diamonds that I'm counting, I'm stacking up. Fucking that shit in that shit from the 3, I'm shooting like Curry.
Yo, if we fix this record, these kids will love this shit. Y'all tell me I'm lying. Like, if we fix the record and we get the hook, if we get the hook to stand out the way it needs to stand out, and we really get it sandwiched in really properly with these verses, these kids will love this record. This record will be like something that they'll be singing nonstop. Y'all tell me that I'm lying. They will be singing this shit nonstop because of the way that it sounds. It sounds like such a good record in terms of like it melodically. You know what I'm saying? And if we can just kind of get those words to to just be articulated, you know what I'm saying? And this is something that I used to try to explain to guys when I first came to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And when I first came to Atlanta from New York, we were coming off of working with the most prominent artists in New York, Wu-Tang, Raekwon, rest in peace to Power, Nas, Prodigy. You know what I'm saying? We're working with all of the guys who were the really most prominent rappers of the time, right? And then we come to Atlanta, and Atlanta has something different going on, right? This is when I started to really start to understand the whole game of independence, right? Because you had a bunch of artists that was doing their thing between Master P and some of the other folks doing their thing, but during this time, like around 2007, you had that rise of independent artists that were really just kind of incubating out of Atlanta, going out left and right. Like one of the biggest at the time was going to be like Shorty Low and some other folks coming out at the same time. And there were some other artists that were like killing Atlanta radio, right? Killing local radio, just killing it. And, just a bunch of guys that I used to run in the studio with some of these guys and was trying to see if we can get their music from being regional to being a little bit more national. And I don't know if you guys noticed that, right? When you look at the Jeezys, the Young Jocks, right? Everybody that kind of broke out of Atlanta that went national, Jeezy, Young Jock, Tip, Ludacris, right? Like those are like your main guys, right? Like there's something that I tried to make folks understand the difference between these guys and mostly other Atlanta artists. Shout out 2 Chainz. Is that when they're rapping, they don't sound as regional. You know what I'm saying? Like the overall sound is regional, but not necessarily, it's not a situation where you're struggling to understand what folks are saying, lyrically, right? Ludacris kind of clear, 2 Chainz clear, you know what I mean? So like, even though these guys are from Atlanta, it's not like you're listening to him like, okay, he just sounds straight, like he's from somewhere in the back of Macon, somewhere like that. It doesn't come across that way. Like they find a different way to talk versus the way that they rap. It's 2 different kind of things. And I think what happens here is that these guys have understood that, the way that they articulated their music was going to give it more. Jermaine, shout out to Jermaine, was going to give it more reach. You know what I'm saying? It was going to give folks a little bit more reach nationally. And I think a lot of the local artists didn't get that. Right? So the guys that were doing it really big on local radio, they weren't understanding that, hey, we needed to kind of expand, or we needed to start to articulate words better, right? In order for it to have more mass appeal. And I know some folks took it as a slight to like, oh, you don't like our accent, da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, listen, we can understand that you're trying to represent your region, but at the same time, we have to make sure that people can understand the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a big thing. If you're talking about rap and you're trying to get national appeal, they got to be able to understand the lyrics. So when I'm listening to a song like this, it's like, it's like, wow, there is a way that he's executing it that would appeal to certain generation of children or younger artist audience. If we're able to articulate it better, right? Still keep the same vibe, but it's able to articulate and enunciate certain words better, right? It will have more of a broader appeal. And I think this is one of those things that some folks kind of get caught on because they just don't want to, they want to represent what they want to represent, but I'm just saying this stuff is more nuanced in terms of if you want to really have a real impact and if you want to be around next year. As the late Craig Mack used to say, they won't be around next year. And this was part of the reason why you won't be around next year is because nobody can get into what you're doing, right? Because you're not making it appealable, something that appeals to folks. Go, we're listening to it and we kind of like it, but we don't know what he's saying. And you got to listen really hard in order to get it, right? And then see, that's a good, see DJ John, see how you say it? Look at Outkast's first album, right? Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music. And then look at how it would happen from there to the second album, to the third album, right? The stuff became a lot more articulated, right? If you listen to Goody Mob, a lot of this stuff became a lot more articulated. You listen to Killer Mike, right? It doesn't sound regional. You know what I'm saying? Like, you understand where I'm going with it? Like, it doesn't sound regional. These guys are able to articulate their words in certain types of ways that now makes their music have way more broader appeal, and there's a plethora of artists that were doing their thing in the city, man. I can't really go into naming them, but there was a lot of guys that was on radio, killing radio, getting local shows, all types of stuff that I was in the room with, watching what was going on, trying to explain it to them, like, yo, bro, you gotta just kind of expand it a little bit. Like, nah, man, I'm winning. I'm like, all right, well, it's like, just because you're winning regionally don't mean you're going to win nationally, And, here today, gone tomorrow, right? What Drake saying in that pound cake, the only real music gonna last, right? All that other bullshit is gonna be here today and gone tomorrow. Shout out to everybody jumping into the live. Daytime G by Youngson. Troll on the beat. Come on, where's the change? 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Younger players don't whisper, you better get your group before you walk in the day. The clan staying in the north. Culture freedom is the fourth concept. The time is set for war. I come for more drama. You better ask your mama about me. Don't ever try to doubt me. Little ones but my joints in the alley when the head get banged. On the streets, I'm smoking on some sweets before I blast at the creeps. I'm in this game for keeps. Young creeps on the come up. I'm about to run up with the clan. I throw little ones in the bin before I put the flesh in the pen. I take down another clan with my rod and rolling in my 93 side through Dayton. I'm still waiting for doomsday. The block is where the goons stay. The tunes stay bumping. I stay dumping. I'm out looking for something to lure. There's no cure once I pour the drink. I'm smoking on some dank. I'm coming through in the tank. I'm a Daytown G. Y'all don't wanna mess with me. I'm a Daytown G. Y'all don't wanna mess with me. The youngsters crazy. I do people like AC when they rest.
He said he's a daytime G, man. Daytime G, you don't want to mess with him. A 4-bar hook, it should be an 8-bar hook. He should have did it twice, 2 more times to get it to 8 bars. Again, record starting kind of slow. Remember, we're sitting here, we're like, okay, what's happening? He doesn't say anything for the first 30 seconds. That's kind of a waste of real estate, in my opinion, you know, to wait so long before you actually start. Remember what I keep saying, man, 4-bar intros, man. I wouldn't really surpass that. 4-bar intros, go right into the hook, bro. That's the strongest part of your record, go into the hook. Let's see if we hear it. And, you know, if the hook works, then people will listen to the rest of the record. If the hook doesn't work, good luck on that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, the verses for me are kind of, you know, below average. And I feel like the way that it's actually being executed could be just done slightly better. You know what I mean? I think what we're dealing with is a folk who's really just trying to find their voice. And I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning, folks is trying to find their way, trying to figure out what works for them. You know, what's going to sound better. You know what I mean? So a lot of people are just trying to, you know, get an idea of what their voice sounds like on these tracks, man. Like, you know, how can I figure it out? And, you know, this just sounds like one of those records where you're trying to figure it out, trying to figure out what production works for them. You know, right now this production is pretty simple. But, you know, not for nothing. You know, this isn't like when I was looking for music back in the 90s or something like that, where you could never find anybody that had instrumentals or beats. Like the entire internet is loaded with beats. You know what I'm saying? So I find it very interesting and or strange that when I hear a track like this that is so simplistic in nature, I get a little bit concerned with that, because you could have gone to Suno, Udio, you could have gone to so many places, YouTube, you could have gotten music that was, you know, slightly more elaborate, that could have helped to support what you're trying to do. So to me, I'm wondering, is that just a disconnect in terms of you don't know what to look for? Is it a situation where you don't want to pay? Is it a situation where you just don't hear it? Is it a situation where you just kind of did it yourself? You know what I'm saying? And if you did do it yourself, it's like, okay, does it sound like, you know, the stuff that's prevalent right now? You know, are we even close to that? Should we be, you know, trying to improve that? Like, what should we be doing to try to get your music to sound better? You know, and I say all of that because the way the AI music is right now, it's like, dog, you're not going to be able to compete in this pool of sharks. You know, like, you're not going to be able to compete in this pool of sharks. It's going to get to the point. And this is another reason why I think that some folks are going so hard on the AI. is because they're going so hard on the AI is because AI is putting out music that's superior to a lot of people's music. And I know people are going to say, what? In terms of vocal performance, in terms of production, in terms of mixing, like all of these things are sounding better than a lot of folks' music that's coming out, right? Especially the ones that are really good in prompting, right? Shout out to Deuce Nines and these guys. Like their music is sounding better than folks' traditional music. So I think what they're trying to do is they say, listen, we don't want this to flood the market so that people get so used to music sounding like this, almost completely perfect, that we're going to put ourselves and put in our situation where our artists can't compete with this. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you see these guys trying to cap this thing down in a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to get folks to really, really, really understand is like, yo, I need you to make sure that you're like putting music that's going to really compete in today's marketplace, man. Like it got to compete, man. If it's not competing, then you're going to have some issues, So shout out to everybody jumping into the live. Shout out Deuce 9, man, Honor Stone. This new joint called That's Easy. If you guys are not familiar with Honor Stone, make sure y'all checking her out. She's out on all platforms right now, so take a listen. This might be this look like a new cut that's me coming out soon. It's called That's Easy, produced by my man Deuce Nines, of course. Let's take a listen.
You keep watching me like I'm the problem. I never asked for your man. You stay up in my DMs, nigga. You know I'm AI, right? That's easy, that's easy. Watch how I move. That's easy. You know what to do. That's easy. Stay on my page, girl, keep your man. That's easy. You know every post before you even see it. Every little caption, every song he repeated. You thinking he's scrolling, baby, that ain't all. Volume down low when you walk through the hall. He know what I want, know the angle to pose. Know which little clip got him losing control. I ain't sent a message, never gave him a sign. Still your man keeps spending all his time. That's easy. Watch how I move, that's easy. You know what to do, that's easy. Stay on my page, girl, keep your man. That's easy. Streaming my songs while you sleeping beside him. Headphones in, you know what's inside him. Every little breath, every note that I sing. Got him somewhere else without touching nothing. He zoom on the pictures you wish he ignored. Stay on the ones you wish he just scrolled. You blaming me for where his attention lives. I ain't taking nothing that he didn't give. That's easy. Watch how I move, that's easy. You know what to do, that's easy. Stay on my page, girl, keep your man. That's easy, that's easy. Watch how I move, that's easy. You know what to do, that's easy. If I wanted a bad girl, keep your man. That's easy. Keep him, baby. I never asked for him. Signs to your man, keep little breath every.
You see the AI. The AI is telling you that it's AI, and it's telling you that it can take your man. It's easy. Yeah, man, girls gotta watch out. Let's listen. Shout out to my man Deuce Nines.
I never asked for your man. You stay up in my DMs, nigga. You know I'm AI, right? That's easy. That's easy. Watch how I move. That's easy. You know what to do. That's easy. Stay on my page, girl, keep your man. That's easy. You know every post before you even see it. Every little caption, every song he repeated. You thinking he's scrolling, baby, that ain't all. Volume down low when you walk through the hall. He know what I want, know the angle to pose. Know which little clip got him losing control. I ain't sent a message, never gave him a sign. Still your man keeps spending all his time. That's easy. Watch how I move, that's easy. You know what to do, that's easy. Stay on my page, girl, keep your man.
I noticed that you got her on a different tone too, Deuce.
That's easy. Streaming my songs while you sleeping beside him. Headphones in, you know what's inside him. Every little breath, every note that I sing. Got him somewhere else without touching nothing. He zoom on the pictures you wish he ignored. Stay on the ones you wish he just grows. You blaming me for where his attention lives. I ain't taking nothing that he didn't give. That's easy. Watch how I move. That's easy. If you know what to do. That's easy.
Deuce, you about to get all the wives. You about to get all of the girlfriends. You about to get all the fiancés. You know what I'm saying? Like you about to have everybody upset because he's basically telling them that, you know, that the AI is taking your man. You know what I'm saying? Pause. Like, I'm just like, you know, I'm not the messenger. I'm just telling y'all what the song is saying, right? But, you know, there are guys right now on Instagram that have these AI looking, you know, thirst trap chicks, you know, that are, you know, putting out some of these things that are like getting millions and millions and millions of views, man. It's something, it's a totally different new day right now. So shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. You know what I'm saying?
Stay on my page, girl, keep your man. That's easy, that's easy. Watch how I move, that's easy. You know what to do. If I wanted a bad.
Something that I've been noticing too, though, on your joints, for the last few, Deuce, pay attention to your volume. Like, some of these songs are not coming in as loud as some of the previous ones, and I'm not sure it was something happening on the output. I'm not sure if something is happening if you've changed any plugins on your mastering, you know, on your master output situation. Like, we want to make sure that we're having some songs or having the music that's going to have that fidelity, because a lot of these songs, they have good vocal performances, vocal production, and good music production and arrangement. I just feel like it could bang louder, right? So, you know, that's just my thing, is to make sure that the music is actually banging, especially when the beats are there. Like, all of the instrumentation and everything is there for it to really be standout records. You know, we just have to make sure that we're paying attention to that. Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live stream. What else we got going on here? Let's look at this joint. It's called I Left by Dipper. Sound Surge.
Daddy was home when you left. You're right. Your mama was home when you left. You're right. Your sister was home when you left. You're right. Your brother was home when you left. You're right. The dog was home when you left. You're right. The cat was home when you left. You're right. The fish was home when you left. You're right. And that's the reason you
back,
left.
Nigga.
I left home cause the feds tried doing the sweet. I left my girl, can't leave my gang cause I'm in too deep. Smoke on zoo, died in his sleep, dodged the Zen, just like Lil B. At least he ain't got like cool. The last thing that he heard was yo, look at my eyes, it's me. I'm the guy that ran to your house, chopped your head and chopped your bone the knee. I'm the one who got you on H, and the one who starts with G. I'm the one who bullies the ops, I can tell they're scared from the way they flee. I can't lie, get devilish thoughts. Mumsy said it's my dreads, but I cut off my dreads and I still get devilish thoughts. I still think about turning them corpse. I still think about singing my ZK. Left them right and I dropped them fours. And everyone knows it's checkmate. Wanna catch, I'm up on the scores. Judy gave me the drop, yes, but she got smacked by the ops. I know, but I don't blame them.
Yo, shout out to the Dipper on this one. You know, when I'm listening to this, right? Like, you know, like how you have like all of the elements of a record that's like, you know, like it seems like it has like the things that it needs to have. He has the right energy. Seems like it's mixed where it needs to be in terms of where his vocal is at. I just have a very, very, very large issue with the timing, right? Like, you know, it's like the timing is not like, see, like how we had listened to the other record that was in another language altogether, but his timing on the track, like, for, you know, even if you have a London accent or, you know, or an accent, like, it doesn't negate the timing. You follow? Like, the accent shouldn't negate the timing. This is rap. You know, we have to be on the beat.
I don't care, she would have been dead if she gave my load. He put a shotgun in his vid, we used to be friends, so I know he's slow. If that is the case, on most of our vids, we had us a gun just ready to blow. Ready to block. Rescue got 2 hats, he placed to a last, so he already repented. Looked at TikTok, said I'm demented. Late night school, my ops just troll, but nah, I don't get offended. Oh no, should I know? It's a stolen car cause I said it's rented. I'm black but my accent's odd. She asked me, am I from outside box? She asked me, dip.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the reason why it's gonna sound this way is because sometimes folks tend to use just too many words in the rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Too many words, or maybe using words that have way too many syllables, and not really no one's telling them like, hey, it's too wordy. We need to kind of dial it back a little bit, right, so that we can get it where it needs to be. You know, so shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live, folks that are listening to it. Like, you know, like this is an issue why sometimes stuff doesn't necessarily, you know, totally jump off the way that it needs to jump off, because it's like, yo, why aren't we hitting the time frame? Like, you know, why aren't we hitting it on the timing? So, you know, shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. You know, we're listening to these joints, trying to make it do what it do. How much time I got? I've been on for a little over an hour. Mr. NBA, what up? Rotten Apples and Roses by Anastasia.
On the tree, we're happy as me, but my smile blew away long time ago. How do I ever show that I'm more better than you?
Shout out to Anastasia for submitting this. Another one of those records again, man. That, you know, this pitch, man, this pitch and tune, man. This joint is it's bad. You know, I really encourage folks. Yeah, that too. You know, we're not really. The lyrics are becoming inaudible, but it's also a pitch and key thing. And I'm a big stickler for it, because there's too much tools now, you know, that prevent people from being out of tune and stuff. And, you know, another thing too is that, you know, you guys could actually be taking these records, singing these references. You can be dropping them in the AI to give you a cover, and then you could find a better way to execute it in tune, you know. And you can have actually a guidepost, you know, from your own song. You can actually take your song with the bad key and pitch, put it in, get a cover, listen to it the right way, and then now you have a reference point to sing it at in the right key and pitch if you don't have pitch correction. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are just so many different ways to make sure that you have a record that sounds the way it needs to sound. Like, I just can't understand having any records that are out of tune and really offbeat in 2026. Like, you know, those things for me, you know, it's a large issue, and I don't think it should be this way. Like, not now. Now we're where technology is for music. doesn't quite go, man. So there's some progressions here that I think somebody tried to mix together, but I don't think they marry well. You know what I mean? It sounds like a Peanut song. I slow down. Wow, it's a little different. Young is the World by Budgie. Let's take a listen to this real quick. We're 20 seconds in. Seconds in.
Young is a world where I often go. Sooner the load I will ever throw. I can be big. Somebody says I'm a man. Till I met you, and you know what I am. People are strange.
In this microwave society and the way that things are like consumed so fast, as content creators, as musicians, producers, songwriters, content creators, the way that stuff is consumed right now, man, it's really imperative for folks to create music that kind of gets to it. And I know people are gonna say, well, real listeners of music will give time for things to kind of build up, etc., etc. It's like it just doesn't seem to be as prevalent and work the way that it used to work, So it's really just my 2 cents and just trying to make folks understand, like you really can't waste the real estate of your music like 15, 20, 30, 40 seconds before you utter a word or before the beat drops, or like these things are wasted opportunities in this microwave algorithmic society, man, where things are happening and occurring so quickly. Like, you guys got to get right to it, man. You know what I'm saying? So remember what's happening is that you're battling for people's attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to be able to really survive in a situation that is taking you too long to get to the point. We have to get to the main point of this record. We have to get to the main hook. We have to get to the thing that's going to make us listen to it all the way through to the end. And if those things don't occur fast enough, you're going to lose these listeners, man. There's just way too much things that are way too many distractionary things that are happening across platforms, and you just don't have the time, you don't have the ability to do that. Getting people's attention in 2026 is harder than ever. And I see guys making music and wasting opportunities with long intros, not putting hooks appropriately, not doing things that they need to do in order to kind of snare the listener, immediately. So I'm going to leave that where it is. For new artists, new producers, make sure that you're jumping on to soundsurge.com. This is the place for music discovery, where you can actually support independent artists. It has a gifting system. It has a system where you can actually upvote music for discovery and for traffic to help build your socials, etc. It is free to submit your music to these charts. I believe it's going to be the next thing as it relates to music. you're a producer and you haven't already joined our Future Producer Society, link is on the screen, school.com/Future Producer Society. Make sure you're jumping into that. We're teaching the music business, man, you know what I'm saying? As you can see, we got a full classroom, music copyright, forming LLC, split sheet guides, music publishing guides, and everything in between, man. Make sure y'all are jumping into that so you can learn the music business. There's no point in being in this business if you don't know the business. All right? Shout out to everybody that's jumping into the live. I'm about to sign off and get up out of here. Until tomorrow, we'll be back on at 8 o'clock doing live reviews, man. Peace out, man. If you want to get to the front of the queue, make sure that you're submitting and skipping the line. I see Big Riz getting ready to start his live. Shout out to my man Big Riz in the building. Shout out to everybody jumping in, man. I appreciate everybody jumping in. Make sure y'all being safe. Catch y'all on the next one.